Alright, now we're going to talk about converting decimals to percents. This is another one of those things where I give the kids a little story, a little trick to help them remember. And the way that I tell it is that there's a little love story going on here between the decimal sign and the percent sign. Now, decimal's just kind of sitting there hanging out, but when you want to turn this number into a percent, when the decimal sees the percent sign, it gets really excited, runs over. It's a little bit weak, it can only run 2 spaces. But now, it's 54 point percent. And as you know, you don't really need that decimal there, so the decimal kind of fades away. This works in all situations, but you have to remember that the decimal can only run 2 times. So what's going to happen is if we have 0.3 here, we want to turn this number into a percent. Decimal's super excited, so he runs over 2 spaces. So now we have 3 space point percent. Now you might be wondering what goes in there. Well, if you have a blank space right here, you always put an invisible 0. So your answer is 30%. And again, you don't need that decimal. Now, the reason why I said the decimal can only run 2 times is because he can't run any less and he can't run any more. So if we have a number like 0.98426, and that decimal is not where it needs to be. But if we have that number, the percent sign appears, decimal's super excited, but he can't quite reach. So we end up with with the decimal, being somewhat in the middle. So it's now 98.426%. Hey, I got a little bit closer, so he's a little bit happy. Now, if you have a decimal, if the decimal number already has a whole number in front of it, that's going to make it look like a really weird percent. You just kind of got to get over that. When the percent sign appears, decimal's super excited, he runs twice. We end up with the number 3,241.4%. That is a huge percent. If you got that percent on your report card, you would be way over an A. But that's the way things work out sometimes. So there you have it, how to convert a decimal to a percent.